Hi guys, Cliff Olson, Doctor of Audiology and founder of Applied Hearing Solutions in Phoenix, Arizona. And in this video, I'm going to teach you how to convince a family member with hearing loss to finally get hearing aids. Coming up. Perhaps the most difficult question for me to answer that I get on a regular basis is, how do I convince my family member to get hearing aids? I mean, let's be honest here. If someone does not even believe that they have a hearing loss, then good luck trying to convince them that they need to treat that hearing loss with hearing aids. In fact, the thing that many of us fail to realize is that most types of hearing losses do not make someone feel like they're having difficulty hearing. It makes them feel like you're mumbling, which to them makes it seem like you're the one with the problem. Of course, we all know that that is not typically the case, even though there are some things that you could do to improve your communication skills to help them hear you better, but that is not the purpose of this video. The good news is there are some things that you can do to help your family member head in the right direction when it comes to treating their hearing loss. But before I get into what these things are, if you could do me a huge favor and click the like button, it really helps out my channel because it gets these videos in front of more viewers. And while you're at it, if you have not yet hit that subscribe button with notification bell, go ahead and do that as well, because that ensures that you never miss one of my newly released videos. And a huge shout out to Phonak, today's video sponsor, but more on them in a little bit. Hearing loss is a serious problem worldwide, and it's not only due to increased communication difficulty. It has also been linked to other things like social isolation, depression, increased risk of falling, and even dementia. Therefore, it is in the best interest for every individual with hearing loss to actually treat their hearing loss, whether that's with hearing aids, surgery, or implantable devices such as bone-anchored hearing aids, cochlear implants, or auditory brainstem implants. The most common and simplest form of treatment for hearing loss is hearing aids. But you can't just go and tell your family member to get hearing aids. They are not going to listen to you. So the best thing that you can actually do is to just encourage them to go see a hearing care professional to get a baseline hearing test. Most good hearing care professionals are experienced in helping individuals with hearing loss actually realize that they have a hearing loss and that it's contributing to other areas of difficulty in their life. Not to mention, they can also help your family member realize that there are other risks associated with not having their hearing loss treated, as well as helping them realize that treating their hearing loss could get you off their back. Now you might be thinking, Cliff, if they're not willing to admit that they have a hearing loss, there is no way that they're going to agree to go in and see a local audiologist. The point here is that you should both be going in to get a baseline hearing test, whether you perceive hearing difficulty or not. You see, it always makes sense to have a baseline hearing test as an adult. That can come in handy for years down the road if you happen to suffer through a trauma or whether or not you just have progressive declining hearing. And the value behind you getting a baseline hearing test as well shows through action that you understand that it's important for adults to have a baseline hearing test even if there's no hearing difficulty. Now I need to stress that the initial goal of this appointment is not to convince this family member to get hearing aids. The intent of this appointment is merely for the hearing care professional to diagnose a hearing loss if there is one. It is then the job of the hearing care professional to determine the most appropriate way to introduce hearing treatment to your family member. A really good hearing care professional will take their time to help your family member really understand their hearing loss and realize how that hearing loss has been impacting their life and their family members' lives. And only after they've been able to have this part of the discussion will they be able to discuss treatment options. When it comes to hearing aids, you have to remember that your family member still probably thinks of them like these big, ugly beige devices that used to squeal all the time from back in the day. But thanks to Phonak, today's video sponsor, today's hearing aids are completely different. First of all, some modern hearing aids are now 100% invisible, like the Phonak Lyric. The Lyric is an extended wear hearing aid that is professionally placed deep inside of an ear canal and stays there for months at a time. It is then removed and replaced with a new device by a hearing care professional every 2 months. Once a Lyric is placed deep inside of an ear canal, it cannot be felt by the user, and it is a great hassle-free way to treat a hearing loss because you wear it all the time. You sleep in it, you shower in it, you work out in it, you basically do everything in it. So if your family member's resistance to hearing aids is that they can be seen by other people, then the Lyric is the perfect option because it will never be seen by anybody. Phonak also has some of the most technologically advanced hearing aids on the planet. Consider the Phonak Audiologist Audeo Paradise rechargeable hearing aids that no longer require the use of a disposable battery. So all your family member has to do at the end of the day is take them out of their ears and stick them in their charger. These hearing aids are also equipped with Bluetooth wireless technology, so your family member can stream audio directly from a smartphone, tablet, computer, or TV directly into their hearing aids. The Paradise line of hearing aids also have a smartphone app that allow your family member to make adjustments on their own hearing aids, whether that's increasing or decreasing volume, or just changing between different program settings depending on the environment that they're in. If your family member prefers to just be more hands-free, the Audeo Paradise hearing aids have AutoSense OS 4.0, so they can automatically switch between different program settings when your family member enters different environments. Oh, and did I mention that the Phonak Audeo Paradise receiver in canal hearing aids are pretty much invisible as well, as long as your family member matches it to their hair color. Now the problem with all of this is that your family member doesn't even realize that they have a hearing loss, and you cannot put the cart before the horse, meaning you cannot be talking about hearing aid technologies before they understand that they have a hearing loss and the implications behind it. That's why you should use all of your energy to get that family member into a hearing care professional who's been specifically trained to help that individual realize that they have a hearing loss and that they should do something about it. Now, what I just shared with you was one of the few ways that I've seen individuals successfully convince their family members to treat their hearing loss. And it wasn't leading with the technology. It was leading with just getting a hearing test. Now, if you are not successful in convincing your family member to get a baseline hearing test, then the next best thing that you can do is convince them to take an online hearing screener so they can prove to you that they don't have a hearing loss. A good quality hearing screener like you can find on Phonak.com, which I will link in the description of this video, will be able to accurately and reliably identify if someone is likely to have a hearing loss. While this does not guarantee that your family member will agree to go seek professional help, it will at least confirm your suspicion on whether or not they have a hearing loss, and it may plant a seed that grows over time. When it's all said and done, hearing loss is much more than just a communication problem. It's a much larger health issue that requires professional attention and treatment. Convincing a family member to treat their hearing loss is perhaps one of the most difficult things that you will ever do. But considering the magnitude of untreated hearing loss and how it negatively impacts virtually every aspect of someone's life, it is also the most important thing that you will ever do. That's it for this video. If you have any questions, leave them in the comment section below. If you liked the video, please share it. And if you want to see other videos just like this one, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Also, feel free to check out my website, drcliffaud.com.